Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be this year? What do you want to do this year? Of course, this is a question I've asked a couple times in homilies, and we know the answer, I hope. The answer is that we want to be great. We want to be saints. Do you believe that you can be a saint? There's a recent study put out, and people thought that being a saint was only for those chosen few. For Blessed John Paul II, for Mother Teresa, for St. John Vianney. It wasn't for them. But aren't you made to be a saint? Aren't you called to be a saint? Shouldn't this be our goal? Is it an unattainable goal? Of course not. We can see this by the many saints who have gone before us. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be known as someone great or just as someone average? Are you shooting for purgatory or are you shooting for heaven? I'm shooting for heaven, by the way. That way if I fall short, I'm going to purgatory. Pretty nice. If I shoot for purgatory and fall short, well then I don't want to go there. We know this, right? Now today we're here, why? Well, because the Catholic Church tells us we have to be here. It's a holy day of obligation. But what are we celebrating? We're celebrating Mary, the Mother of God. What a great example she has for us. Her saying yes, her living out her faith. But who was Mary before she was the Mother of God? What was her first vocation? It was to be the daughter of God. And she lived this out completely. What is your vocation called to be? To be the daughter or the son of God? And then to live from there. To live for greatness, to live to be a saint. And of course, we can see that Mary is great. We can see that she is a saint, and this is why we're celebrating this today. But what about ourselves? What does it mean for us? How can we attain this greatness? Well, Matthew Kelly, we all know Matthew Kelly, right from the Archdiocese of St. Paul, Minneapolis, last year, we got that book called Rediscover Catholicism. And in the book, Rediscover Catholicism, of course, Matthew Kelly talks about the beauty of the church and everything like this. But he said, if you were to put out a book anytime soon, or any book recently, it would have been a different book. And that book would be called The 4 Stages of a Dynamic Catholic. This book right here. I remember this past weekend I said I'd give you guys all a gift when you come to Mass. Some people thought it was going to be a fruitcake. Some people thought it was going to be a blessing. No. All good things except for the fruitcake. Instead, I'm going to give each and every one of you, at least families, this book right here. And it's called The 4 Signs of a Dynamic Catholic. Maybe you've seen it before. Matthew Kelly says, and it's through research not by him but by a different organization, that of all the Catholics in the world, 7% would qualify as dynamic Catholics. People that do this every single day. 7%. And what do the 7% do every single day? Well, the first sign of a dynamic Catholic is someone who prays every single day. 10 minutes a day. Praying 10 minutes a day is a sign that they have a true relationship with God. Of course, we know that Mary did this. We know that Mary prayed every single day. The shepherds appeared to her, and what did she do? And Mary kept all these things reflecting on them in her heart. Do you reflect on the things that God reveals to you? Do you pray every day? I asked the confirmation kids at the beginning of the year, I said, I want you to pray 10 minutes every single day until you get confirmed. And I check in with them. I say, how's that prayer going? Are you praying 10 minutes a day? They go, we try to. I go, well, trying and doing are two different things, aren't they? Let's do it. What if everyone in this parish prayed 10 minutes a day? What would it look like? So that's the first sign of being a dynamic Catholic. The second sign is someone who studies the faith. What that means is they read a minimum of 5 pages a day of a good Catholic book. We know that Mary was sent off at a young age to go into that temple and to pray and to study. And look where this led her, to probably being the greatest saint. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be a saint? Study. Study the faith. I know myself, I spend 5 minutes a day looking at ESPN.com. And what do you think I think about the rest of the day? Well, ESPN a little bit, and how bad the Vikings are doing, and who the new Vikings coach is going to be. What's greater than that? Jesus Christ. What's greater than that? The Catholic Church. Well, Catholic Church, then Jesus Christ. Of course, let's get that in qualification, please, right? We know this. But what are we called to do about it? Just think about it every once in a while? No. To open up a book and to study. To read 5 pages a day of a Catholic book. If you read 5 pages a day of this book right here, it would take you 43 days. You'd be done with it. It's not a thick book. Nice and easy. You could have this book finished in 43 days by reading 5 pages a day, and I guarantee your thoughts would be adjusted. So that's the second sign. The third sign of a dynamic Catholic is someone who is generous with their time and the gifts that they have been given to them. Think about someone being generous. Look at Mary. What did she do? She said yes to God. Be it done unto me according to your will. We used to think in the Catholic Church that 20% of the people did 80% of the work. We were wrong. 7% of the parishioners here do 80% of the work. 7% do 80%. 7% do 80% of the volunteer hours. 7%, for the most part, looking at it, fund this parish. Be generous. Your life will change. That fourth sign of dynamic Catholic is one that as Catholics are really bad at, and it's evangelization. To go out and to spread the message of Christ. To go out and to tell people about the glorious things going on in our life. We have an example of this, of course, today in our gospel. The shepherds come, and what do? Do they go back into the fields and go, that was kind of cool? No! They go out and they spread the message. We have seen the Messiah. We have seen him. We believe in him. He is great. He is awesome. The one we've been waiting for is here. We are called to spread our faith. How do we do this? Of course, by speaking about it, by passing on books and CDs of talking about our faith. Imagine if you had a miraculous cure to some illness, whatever it may be. Let's say it was a miraculous cure to cancer. That'd be pretty awesome, right? Would you tell anyone about it? Of course you would. You would tell everyone about it. We have this miraculous cure to maybe the illness of this life, don't we? We have Jesus Christ, the one who in the midst of darkness and struggle and turmoil in our lives, we know we still can have peace and hope, even if we're dealing with cancer. What are we called to do? To hide this by ourselves, but to go out and to share it. We are called to do all of these things. Yes, individually and as a parish. Imagine if this parish responded to this call. What would it look like? What would it be like? If we went from 7% to 8%. Do you realize we'd have 15% more volunteer hours? Do you realize that our budget will go up by 15% to have more programs offered? Imagine if it increased 1% every single year for the next 7 years. That would double everything, including, hopefully, doubling our holiness. Now, I can stand up here and talk about this all we want, but that doesn't solve the issue, does it? Now it's time for the action. This year, are we going to respond to God's call? Are we going to start living with a purpose? Which I know we have in the past. I'm not saying we haven't. There's a reason I'm talking about this today, by the way. You're here on a holy obligation. You are probably more than likely one of the 7%. Although some of us here may not be. And it probably depends on the day. Are we truly living as Catholics today? Are we truly living as sons and daughters of God today? To be a saint, the answer means we have to do this every single day. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be someone known who is great? Not just here on this earth, but in the next. Do you want to be a saint? Imagine this parish if we all lived this out. People would be flocking here because they know there'd be something special going on. Which there is, but there's always room for improvement. And this is where we need your help. And so this is the year that we take this next step. This is the year that we go out there through the intercession, of course, of Mary, the Mother of God, this great saint, our inspiration. And we go out and we spread the message of Christ. We deepen our own relationship with him. We do all of these things. We are dynamic Catholics, not just ones who sit in the pew twiddling our thumbs. So today we ask for Mary's intercession to come down upon us, upon our families, and upon our parish. That we may be inspired by her example and of the many saints who have gone before us, as well as the many parishioners who have gone before us and built up this parish. May we continue to respond to God's call to be his sons and his daughters. Mary, Mother of God, pray for us.